Hey guys, so a lot of you have wondered kind of what our infertility journey has been. We shared little bits and pieces throughout a lot of these videos, but I don't think we've ever really gotten into the nitty-gritty detail.
This is the true, real, authentic us about the pain of infertility.
When we first got married, I wanted to have a family right away, and Philip said, let's wait like 2 years.
Yeah, I think my intention was like, I wanted to get to know her. Like I wanted to like bond with her and kind of have those really special moments of just being a young married couple.
Mm-hmm. And so we met in the middle and said around a year we would start trying, because we were like, well, it would technically be 2 years because we would, it would take 9 months before the baby came. On our 1 year anniversary, I think we stopped preventing, and our version of prevention was barrier methods.
Yeah.
So I was never on the birth control pill.
Why?
I just didn't like the idea of hormones in my body and putting something in that I don't have to have.
She's like a self-professed like crunchy granola mom, and so like as much as she's a nurse, like she's not about like having medicine in her own body, and so she wants to do things as naturally as possible.
Yeah.
So that I think for you, that was one of the main reasons that you actually didn't want to do birth control.
Mm-hmm. I started using the FemCap, which is very similar to a diaphragm. It's just shaped a little bit different. And so then we switched to condoms for a little while, and then quickly got tired of those. So that's, I think, why right around our 1 year anniversary, we said, let's just be done with everything.
Yeah, and I think for us, it was this intention that we were like, okay, so like, God, we've given it this year, like we've grown together. Let's just kind of see what you have planned.
Yeah.
And then we started like not trying, but trying at the same time.
So we used a method called the pull and pray. And so we were not preventing it, but we weren't quite trying yet.
Yeah, like if we had had a baby at that time, like it would have been awesome. We would have been super excited, and it would have been great.
But it was just a few months later that we actively started trying. I think that was technically October of 2012. We had gone on a big long road trip and came back and said, let's do this.
Yeah, we actually went from California to Alabama and back, and like hit like 13 different states in the middle, and it was such a fun time. It was a great time of bonding, and now looking back, that trip actually was one of the biggest blessings to our entire marriage, was because we got to know one another, we got to talk deep with one another, and we just got to experience life. And then we were like, okay, now we're ready. Like let's try to start the family.
Yeah. I remember crying on my birthday just a couple months later in December that we weren't pregnant yet. And I wish I could go back and kind of be like, oh, you don't even know yet.
Yeah, this is just the beginning.
So I think we were about 9 months into trying, maybe 10, and we decided to go get checked out. They want you to wait a year before you get checked out if you are two young, healthy people. I just had a bad feeling. Plus, we did those few months of not preventing.
Yeah.
And so all of that added up to about a year.
It kind of gave us like this residual fear that I think we already had. Like, could we be that infertile couple was like a question that we said all the time. Yeah.
So I actually went to my regular doctor because I was having some stomach pains, and they did a ultrasound of my stomach and then also an internal ultrasound just to check everything out. And during that, they actually found a cyst, maybe even two, on my ovaries, one on each side, or maybe they only found one. And I remember sobbing. I was just sobbing. I thought that's it. That's why
the reason that we haven't had any babies.
And it was one of those, it was either a cyst versus an endometrioma, which is an endometriosis, but in a cyst form. But as we went on throughout the next few months, those cysts would go away. And so they said, no, you do not have endometriosis.
Alex's cysts weren't super painful. I know that there's a lot of women that have extremely painful cysts.
Or they have extremely painful endometriosis.
Right. And Alex's really wasn't. And so we
had no symptoms of endometriosis. And so therefore, because the cysts went away, they said, no way. There's no way you have endometriosis.
And so that was actually the reason that we didn't go get like full on checked out.
I got referred by my regular doctor to go see my OB. The cyst was gone, or I had one on the other side, and they said, it's probably just a follicle from your previous cycle. You don't have endometriosis, but, you guys have been trying for a year. Let's go get other things checked out. You've already had an ultrasound done. We can do other things, but let's just, because this is
Right,
quick and
right.
a simple test, let's get Philip checked out. So we ended up going to get tested.
Yep.
And
I did my first cup sample.
Yeah, quickly got those results, and they were not good.
Yeah,
We
I
had-
had extremely low sperm count. I had high morphology.
At that point, 100% of his sperm were not shaped
Oh, yeah.
correctly. So it said 0% morphology was normal. And then the motility, which is the speed and and swimming in the right direction, was
Right.
really low as well. At that point, our OB said, sometimes you can have a bad sample. Like, it's very common. You might just have had a weird day. You might have gotten sick. You might have been in a hot tub. You might have been all these
Yeah.
different things. They said, we're just going to test you again in a month.
So we went back to test again, and it was not any better at all. In fact, I think it actually had gotten a little bit worse.
We were full on freaking out.
We were like, okay, so what if it is her cyst and this? But then it actually kind of turned into like, it's not even her cyst. Like,
Right.
it's not even her.
Yeah.
It's completely me. And then I remember having these like moments going, what's wrong with me? Why was I created defective? And I think it was hard as a man, as a leader, and as a husband to see my wife that said like, I want to have kids. And then like, I wasn't allowed to give her like what she wanted.
Yeah, it was hard. It was really hard. So at that point, I was not ready to go do infertility treatments. I just felt like I'm trying to force it. I'm trying to take control. Like, I'm not trusting God with our family. And so I was really scared of fertility treatments, but I was not as scared of doing like natural remedies or natural treatments. So we did everything under the sun that was natural.
Right.
We did
Acupuncture.
Philip did that for 7 months. And we have to say,
That might have been the only thing that actually improved my counts.
His morphology went to normal. His count actually ended up going to normal, but his motility did not go to normal.
It improved a little bit, but it wasn't like enough to make a huge difference outside of, say, IVF or IUI.
Yeah, I think if we would have done IUI right then when your numbers were the absolute best,
Maybe.
IUIs might have worked, but who really knows? I don't know. So we did acupuncture.
So, we did acupuncture.
We did
supplements.
We did
I did
supplements.
a lot of supplements. We worked on diet, but like I'm not super strict with diets. I hate to admit it. Like it's one of those things I wonder like if I had stuck with the diet, would it have worked? Maybe. It was just hard. Like I eat out of my pain. I eat out of my boredness. Eating kind of like for me is like one of my struggles. And so in the midst of it all, like dieting every single day, it just sounded miserable to me. So like it was hard to stick with it amidst the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish
I
I
kind of
would
like to eat.
Yeah, I wish I wanted to exercise when I was sad, but like that's not how it was.
The supplements we did was called Fertile Aid, and we liked them. I think that because we were doing that along with the acupuncture, we don't really know which one worked. What was hard through all of the supplements, all of the diet, all of everything. Early on, you guys saw a video. We went to an iridologist who I love. She's my favorite.
Amazing.
However, the supplements she gave us did not work either. It was just a lot of money that we put towards natural treatments, and I wouldn't change it because I had to go through that path before getting to fertility treatments.
Right.
But looking back, in my mind, I'm like, if we would have only spent all that money we spent on natural treatments, it would have been a lot easier to afford some of the fertility treatments. Everyone has to choose their path. And for us, we weren't ready.
Yeah. We were just ready to take baby steps of natural remedies towards our infertility.
Yeah.
And then once we kind of did that and that didn't work, we stepped our game up to go to IUIs.
Yeah. So this is the end of part 1 of our infertility journey. I hope you enjoyed what we have shared so far, and we will see you guys next time. Go let your love multiply. Bye.